Deep into the Trnovo forest, there are mass graves that are hard to find. These people who weren't killed during World War II. They were murdered afterwards by the new communist government on May 2nd, 1945.
That is, if you don't think too much.
This is the famous Trnovo forest. Trnovo was a village we saw before, maybe the main village in this region, sub-region. And this is an very old Trnovo forest. And we can find here wolves, we can find foxes, we can find bears, everything. Samo pravo.
I guess I have a question about the bodies. Maybe it's obvious, but why were the killers so intent on hiding? Weren't they in control or in power?
Because of the controlling power, of course. To remain secret, to control the power.
Yeah.
On May 2, 1945, communists began to round up and arrest civilians who lived in the city of Gorizia. They arrested civilian victims, loaded them onto trucks, and transported them up into the forest. The victims included men who had served in the Littoral Home Guard or Primorske Domobranci, Italian police officers, civilian employees from the municipality, mostly all women. They arrested wealthy merchants, 2 Jewish people who were wealthy, and they brought them secretly up into the forest.
Driven here to Zalesnica. This Fojba is called Zalesnica, is Slovenian name for this place, and they were forced to walk to the way we made today. It means 6-7 minutes up here. They were put there, shot on their heads, and thrown to the Fojba. It's about 136 meters depth. It means 136. If you survive the shot, you can survive the fall. You can imagine. There were excavations even during the communist times, hidden excavations, done immediately after 1990. It means after the democratization of Slovenia, and we can speak for about between 80 and 120 people, dead people down there in the Fojba. So between 80, but it's too small number, and 120 maybe too high number. We don't have lists, we don't have documents, we have only testimonies, and we have proofs from the Fojba, some bones and so on, that there are still people down there. And maybe we hope so that some documents regarding this Fojba and others, of course, will be found in the next future in Belgrade. Because you can imagine the Slovenian partisan army was very, very centralized. Everything from Gorizia area, also from Ljubljana, Novo Mesto and so on, went first to Ljubljana, from Ljubljana to Belgrade. I was many times in the Belgrade archives, but could you imagine in 2025 they are still closed for researchers till now. Yeah. It's a sad thing, but it's a real thing, and I can openly say that it's so. So among victims we can find civilians, mostly civilians, because you maybe know from the history that first Yugoslav partisan troops came to Gorizia on the 1st of May 1945. On the 2nd of May, they have in Gorizia also some British troops from Army of New Zealand, from the 2nd British Army, and the Yugoslav communist authorities immediately on the 2nd of May they started to collect people, to arrest people. They prepared some even before, of course, even on Bazar 20. Bazar 20 was in Kočevski Rok. There was a hidden place for the communist leadership, and they tried to prepare the lists to arrest people in autumn, in October, November 44. We know certainly that on that list we can find 18,000 Slovenians from different regions, of course, from Maribor to Ljubljana, from Koper to Gorizia, from Jesenice to Kranj. And as I said before, on the 2nd of May 1945, the arrests in Gorizia began, and first on the list were the Slovenian domobranci in Home Guard, not that one in Ljubljana, but that one in Gorizia, so-called Primorski domobranci. And we certainly know that the first fojbas for them were a little near to Gorizia. Not here. They were murdered near Grgar. I am going to show you Grgar. We know two such fojbas as here. One is Joščevo Brezno, the other is Zagomila or Podgomila. But we are not going to visit those two fojbas. We count about maybe 130, 140 young soldiers, not younger, from Primorski domobranci, killing on those places. Here in this fojba we can find carabinieri. It means Italian police. Special word used for Italian police is carabinieri. So we can certainly here find carabinieri. We can find civilian employees from the Comune di Gorizia, from the, how can I translate? Općina Gorica. Municipality of Gorica, civil servant. A lot of women among them. Typewriters, interpreters, and so on. We can find.
This is basically the women.
Maybe. You're right, completely right. Then can we find some rich people, merchant, then owners of small business, and so on. We can find, as I said before, two Jews. They simply survived the Second World War, the Holocaust, and they were rich. That's what important answer why they were brought here and thrown in this fojba. And altogether, as I said before, between 80 and 120 only in this cave.
Do you get that number from a list or from excavations?
No. Estimation from the excavation.
From the excavation.
Yeah, unfortunately, the lists disappeared. And until now, we have some testimonies on the civilian side among the local population. They were very, very afraid to speak about the fojbas until 1990. After 1990, there was a breaking point, and some of them spoke or gave us their stories. Unfortunately, because of the so-called biological hour, all of them are dead nowadays. And we have 2 or 3 testimonies about the perpetrators. It means from the people who did those things. Yeah. But they were on the low level, you can imagine. And some rare documents from the parish here about the local priest he heard about screaming and so on. And some documents from Ljubljana archives, but not lists. We are expecting to find lists in Belgrade archives. As I said before, I was many times there, but there is still a lot of work to do because, could you imagine, they try to hit those documents till nowadays. It means till 1925. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
So what about property owners? Property lists after the war?
Those on the former Yugoslav
Yeah.
sites, they were confiscated. On the Italian side, there was a democratic system. So,
but the future owners, the owners of the properties after 1945.
yeah, that's the
you
reason
would
why
think probably they have something to do with the demise of
you are right. You are completely right. It helped us to understand the political situation in Slovenia.
Yeah,
Because the new owners fight for the old system, you know?
Right.
Yeah. That's a simple answer. The problem in our region is that our region was for centuries unique space, culturally, historically, politically, socially, and it was divided only in 1947. It means 2 years after the Second World War, because of the Treaty of Paris. In meantime, there were American and British troops as peacekeeping forces from May 1945 until September 1947, because Yugoslav Communist Army or partisans, they had only 40 days to clean Gorizia, from the 1st of May till 12th of June. And after that, they had to leave Gorizia and Trieste, of course, also because of that crimes. And I have to underline once more, those crimes were not ethnical cleansing, was not Slovenes, bad Slovenes against good Italians, or bad in Istria, bad Croats against good Italians. No. You can find victims among Italians, Slovenians, Germans, Croats, Friulans, and also, as I said, two Jews, at least two Jews. And on the side of perpetrators, you can find plenty nationality, Slovenians, Italians. You can find Italians who are brought to the justice after 1947, after the restoration of Italian power in this region, and they simply went to Yugoslavia to be protected from the communists. Yeah. It's a sad story. Yeah. And some of them even got new houses and property on the beach, on the coast, Slovenian coast, in the same region from where a lot of so-called Ezuli, it means Italian minority, left Yugoslavia after 1947, not to live under communism, and moved to Italy. You can find everything in this small Slovenian western border, this Primorska region.
Question?
Yeah.
How about like clergy, priests, nuns, religious?
So you mean during the war or after the war?
Probably both.
We have 1 hour, 1 hour 30 to speak about the problem.
No, just in general.
Short version.
I'm going to answer on your question because I'm dealing also with history of the Catholic Church. But first of all, I have to mention another thing. Sorry.
Sure.
For the first time after the Second World War, in last June, we have a celebration. We have a Holy Mass. Just here was an altar. The Mass was celebrated by local priests for the first time. Here in the forest, there were about 400 people, mostly Slovenians, also some Italians. and there was full of, how can I describe? It's hard to describe. It was a sad story, a sad occasion, but on the other hand, it was full of joy, because it was the first time that people came here and celebrate the Holy Mass for those people in that foibas. Because you have to say once more, we have to say that there are still bodies, there are still bones of those people down there. And we are in 2025. No local politician, no local media was here. Nobody. Complete ignorance. And the priest that led that mass in June this year died just a week ago, and there was farewell to him just on last Monday, a week ago. Bogdan, my friend, and I'm going to dedicate this occasion to be with you also in memory of him, because he was my friend, he was a priest, he has only 60 and he died because of cancer. And this was the last public mass celebrated by him just here on this site, in memory of those victims in this foiba. So, going back to your question, during the war, we know for certain that in this western part of Slovenia, we're speaking about Primorska. We speak about the territory under Italian sovereignty after the Palo Treaty. It means after the First World War. So we are speaking about the western part of Slovenia, which was not part of pre-war Yugoslavia as the central and eastern part of Slovenia. So on this territory, only during the war, 10 priests were killed, 10 priests, and 2 seminarists. Yeah, mainly from 43 till the end of the war, and even some priests were killed after the war. It means after 45, after the liberation. And the destiny of our priests were the same one as in Ljubljana region or in other regions of Slovenia. Yes, our priests were for the first time initially for the partisan movement because of liberation, you know, but later on they were against communism, and it was the same how can we say, the same result as in Ljubljana region or other regions of Slovenia, in Styria or in Dolenska, Gorenska region. They were put in prison, they were condemned on long sentences. You maybe have heard for Joško Kragel. He was sentenced, he was my priest in my village during my childhood. He was sentenced to be shot in December 49. He spent in prison 8 years, and he was not informed that he was forgiven,
Exonerated.
yeah, for a year and a half. Could you imagine?
And he was still in jail.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, forgiven not to be shot.
Yeah.
And he spent 8 years in the prison. He wrote an excellent book, his memoirs, in 1990. The first one in the whole of Slovenia. The name is Myself. It means Moje celice.
Yeah.
You should read it. It's only in Slovenian and English, in Italian language, but full of memories. Yeah.
You mentioned that the communists did some excavating.
Excuse me?
You mentioned that the communists did some excavating in 52 or something, you said?
No. In 70s they started.
Oh, in 70s.
Yeah.
What was their purpose? What were they doing? Why?
It's
Yes.
You can find nowadays no documents about those excavations. I spoke with 2 miners, or no, not miners.
Archaeologists.
No, excavators. Yeah, excavators, who were part of that team, and the purpose was to find a protection if the West NATO pact attack us, and what can we find, and what can we hit in those cases. It was immediately before the Tito's death, 70s, and Yugoslavia of that time. They tried to find enemies all around the Western world. And part of that policy, government policy, was also to excavate the foibas, the caves, the natural caves, because these foibas are natural caves. Especially only in this region can we find those caves.
About how long did that continue, that process where they were looking for enemies wherever they might be? Some would think that even continues to today. I don't know.
You're right. But looking about those testimonies, we know for certain that some documents was made during those excavations, but we are not able to find those documents in the archives. So it was a hidden you can know, operation. That's it.
What were they trying to find? To show that somebody else did it, or that
No.
They just wanted to hide it? Or?
It was forbidden history. I studied history. I never heard during my primary school, secondary school, college, university, no word about those things. And I studied in the 90s, after the fall of communism, after the democratization. Could you imagine? And I'm not happy to say to you, frankly to you, but it's and that's the most bad thing. It's hidden history also today. There are some persons, I'm among them, we try to write, to give lectures, to discuss, to research in the archives about those problems, but we have many problems. From the local authorities, from the state authorities, and especially among the colleagues. It means among the other historians.
Do you think part of that is out of fear? Is part of that just out of fear of if there's still a degree of communist control? They call themselves not communists, but whatever, social Democrats or whatever.
We can say so.
So they're afraid of losing your jobs and positions and all that.
Yeah.
What about just family connections?
Also,
Right?
we are speaking now about the second and third generation. Yeah. Would be an appropriate answer. Yeah. But we spoke about the Holy Mass here on this place. No publications, no commercials, and 400 people came here to celebrate the Mass. And I have to say, we had no support from the local Catholic Church.
That's sad.
Really? That's surprising.
No support.
That's surprising.
Can you say why?
No. Because you are going to quote me, and no. Better not to speak about that problem.
There's an irony here. This place is so incredibly beautiful. The air is so fresh.
That's the reason I said this morning first to climb here. It's a unique space. It's a holy place also, and we can just be here speechless, and we remain without words. No words. You don't need you need no more explanations. We've done everything.
So without the support, where does the money come for what we see here, for example?
That's a good question, and reasonable question. After the fall of communism, the local authorities in Nova Gorica, they were controlled by demos. Demos, Democratic Opposition of Slovenia, only for 2 years in Nova Gorica. In that time, 1992, they were managed to 3 places. We visit now. We are visiting now Zalesnika. The next one will be Cvetreš, and the third one is a little bit out, and it's enough for today to visit 2 places. And they, among 40 those foibas, they collect 3 most emblematic of them, and they put science, and they pay to conserve this place, and they even put for the holy day, it means at the beginning of November, some flowers, some commemories from the special commission from the local municipality to commemorate this place, but for only three of those 40 places. And no journalist, no historian, no camera usually came with them here to register those.
And no Catholic Church support. And no Catholic Church support of the whole thing.
This is your answer.
What happened to your friend, the priest who did this? Was he ostracized? Was he slapped on the wrist?
Can we speak about this problem later?
Okay.
Without,
perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
Who owns this property?
It's a private property. The owner is president of the local partisan veterans organization.
Oh, wonderful.
Please. Sit down. She was here a month ago, and she simply tried to find those foibas. Was impossible. Why? Because there are no signs. You can know by your memory where can you find those foibas, those mass graves. Just a moment. Here on the right, you can see a sign, Grobišče. There is an undiscovered mass grave, and especially in October, November, there you can find many candles. Nobody knows who brought that candles, who brought a part of memory, but before we said that in those forests we can find about 40 mass graves. From that number, only 4 are under science, as we saw near Zalesnika, where we already were a few minutes ago. The second one is the other, very emblematic, made in May 45, the end of May, the first day of June 45. It's easy to approach. Because we can come up there with our bus. The weather is good, and in a few minutes we are going to be there. The name of the second mass grave is Cvetreš. It's a little bit harder to pronounce, Cvetreš. Something more I'm going to say near the mass grave, near the foiba. We described even before that foiba is Italian word used only in Slovenian language and other languages. It's a natural cave typical for this karst or karst region. You can find many foibas all around the karst region. It means the central and southern part of Slovenia. And those foibas were used for the mass graves at the end of the Second World War. Samo polako sedaj, još malo. is up there. Because the victims, as we know from the testimonies, were put up there, shot. It was a simply Soviet system. Shot in their heads and thrown in the foiba. So be careful, just make a circle, and we are going to meet once again here near the cross.
Did anybody
Another thing I have to say to you. Wherever you come here, if during summer, during winter, during spring or during autumn, you can find candles near the cross. And we don't know who are the persons who put the candles down there. But in every time you can find candles there made by Italians, by the locals, it means Slovenians, some foreigners, also some journalists from Holland and Germany came here to write about this cave, but no interest from local journalists. I know it's hard to explain, but this is the situation we are living and working for. It's not only part of my job, my research to dig or to research about those foibas. I'm dealing also with other part of history, but I want just to make a memory for those persons. They have no graves, they have no memory. They were simply thrown from our history, and we should remember them. Why not?
Sure.
Yeah.
Is it my understanding there's over 800 mass graves
Yeah.
in Slovenia?
Around 800. Yeah. Yeah. But we have at least another 250 to discover in the near future.
How do you know that? I'm curious.
Testimonies, documents, some memoirs about the perpetrators. Yes, we have a lot. We are speaking about 250 more. Half of them should be here in the western part, in the Primorska region. Yeah.